the finish line. They are getting really close. That is Laguna Seca. I think we can see the corkscrew just over the shoulder of Moriah Wilson. Not too far now. The pace on this women's field, remember, they've been racing now for 3 hours and 20 minutes. This has been a fast-paced race for both the women and the men.
Yeah, and it would be interesting, which we didn't really get a chance to be able to talk. I wonder what the riders thought of the course. I wonder how they thought it played out and if they liked the way it was. So I'd be curious. Moriah Wilson right there coming in, hitting the brakes here. Now you don't want to make a mistake and come into the corner too fast, but you also want to be able to keep your momentum and just not even looking like she's slowing down. An incredible ride as Moriah Wilson knows exactly where to go as she's getting ready to try to go around the final few turns and make her way in towards the finish. A lot of riders being chased down. That's Moriah Wilson right there, and a bigger gap, right? At the top of the climb, it was about 6 seconds, and it looks like it's expanded to even more as Sofia Gomez Villafan right now realizing the position that she's in and wants to be able to hold on to that second spot and not lose it.
That's right, with Alexis Skarda presumably chasing in third place. But, man, Frankie, she looked so comfortable when she made that last little push on that hill. Moriah looks so comfortable. I know she trains hard. I know she trains long. She is no stranger to these sort of conditions. I think it's probably even a little bit easier for her than today. But, man, look at that. At the last split, she had put 20 seconds into Sofia Gomez Villafan and 24 seconds into Alexis Skarda. She's going to be able to take a little bit of time here to celebrate because places are what matters when it comes down to the Grand Prix standings. Really impressive ride by Moriah Wilson.
Yeah, great ride, and more impressive. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see that second place and third place was only a 4-second gap, so that's really going to be a nice battle. But for Moriah Wilson, I mean, can you think of a better way to start off 2022? I'm sure she was a little bit disappointed with the second place at Mid-South, but right now, this is where all the hype has been. This is where all the focus has been. The Fuego 80 here to be able to start off day number 1 with the mountain bike race at the Lifetime Grand Prix presented by Mazda. I mean, this is how you want to start your year. And it's important, you know, you're going to have the physical benefits of being able to accomplish this race and do well, but also emotionally and mentally, you're going to have the advantage on all the other athletes because next race that you're going to is Unbound, which is a gravel race, which completely suits Moriah Wilson's abilities. And so you're like, hey, I just scored 30 points here, and I'm going to like one of my favorite races and one that I'm the best at, and I have a chance to be able to score another 30 points. And so for a lot of other riders, they might get a little bit discouraged at how the results are playing out here. But for the leader, like Moriah Wilson, this is a perfect day.
Yeah, it does put you in both that mental advantage, but obviously there's a physical advantage. All of the riders are going to be thinking, God, well, okay, we knew Moriah was strong. We knew she had this engine, but dang, she's come out here and proven it. And on a course that may not have been ideal for her. She got second at Leadville, right? So obviously Moriah is fantastic on the mountain bike. Great at altitude, great at climbing, but here she is at Sea Otter. I mean, if you get second at Leadville, I don't think we're going to say that you're going to be dominating out at Sea Otter Classic. But here she is. I mean, Moriah putting together this day, first day, going to be able to leave here both with the mental advantage, obviously the physical advantage, but before round 2 happens in Emporia in June. Following behind Sofia Gomez Villafan and Alexis Skarda, they were separated, by 4 seconds over the top of that last climb. Leah Davison came through that last time check and only 20 seconds or so off of, 14 seconds off of the other things. But it is all Moriah Wilson as she is snaking through into the finish of the Lifetime Grand Prix presented by Mazda. This is Moriah Wilson, the winner of round 1 of the 2022 Lifetime Grand Prix.
What an incredible ride, and she's going to be completely pumped. You can see just so happy, the smile on her face. You know, so much pressure, the butterflies, the nervous energy, you don't know how it's all going to play out, and then to be able to finish it off with a win is massive. And then also celebrating Sofia Gomez Villafan with a great ride, also to be able to come in second place. That's going to be some great points for her as well. And so obviously she was able to hold off Alexis Skarda. It was only 4 seconds at the top of that final checkpoint, so it was very, very close. But Sofia Gomez Villafan in second. waiting for Alexa Skarda to be able to come across the line, and she should be coming across any moment right now. But Moriah Wilson just untouchable. There's Alexa Skarda in that Stars and Stripes jersey as all the riders congratulate each other.
Looks like we've got a mix of equipment too, a hardtail for Moriah Wilson. She rode a hardtail, and then I see some full suspension here on the other women. Yeah, what an impressive result. Such a strong podium for this round one. I mean, you've got a national champion. You've got Sofia Gomez-Villafane, just won Cape Epic. And then Moriah Wilson taking home the Fuego 80K at Sea Otter Classic.
And that'd be interesting with Sofia Gomez-Villafane, because with the Palmars and the results and the resume that she has, we talked about Cape Epic, the travel, 8 days of racing, right? That's where you really have to dig deep on that climb if you want to keep up with Moriah Wilson. And when you have fatigue, that you can't. Your heart rate limits out. You can't really dig. You can't build that lactic acid. And so perhaps a little bit of fatigue setting in there for the Olympian that finished up in second place today.
And we're seeing that Leah Davison came through in fourth. Fantastic ride for Leah, who was, for all purposes, retiring at the end of 2021. But here she is, fourth place. And Evelyn Dong in fifth. A great ride. That was that leading group.
The Lifetime Sea Otter Classic presented by Continental. Mo Wilson. Mo, phenomenal race. I have to say, you kind of came out of nowhere at the end, for at least for us here in the venue. We were watching the live timing all day, and you weren't leading through any of the splits. So to see you come across the end in the lead is just phenomenal. So congratulations, first of all.
Thank you so much.
Second, so tell us a little bit how the race played out. Like I said, you weren't leading through any of the splits. So how did your strategy play out today, and exactly where did you get that lead?
Well, I was always with the lead group from kind of the beginning. That was one of my main goals, was to get a really good start, be in a good position so that I wouldn't get behind on that first kind of 4 or 5 miles of single track, which I was able to do. So I was with a lead, 8 women the whole race, and it kind of slowly dwindled down. There were times when I was up there in the lead, but we were trading spots kind of throughout the whole race. And I think the timing just happened to be the timing mats were in a place where I was actually just in the back kind of through some of the downhill sections. I'm definitely not the most skilled technical rider out there, so I kind of got past heading into some of those descents, but then was leading on more of the climbs. So, and then yeah, my goal is just to stay up near the front as long as I possibly could, and then hammer on the last climb. I rode a hardtail to kind of amplify my strengths, which are my climbing skills. So that worked out pretty well. I really put a really hard effort in at the end. So yeah, I'm stoked. I'm really happy.
Fantastic. So switching gears a little bit, coach, friend, mentor, Alan, both of us, Dr. Alan Lim, he calls you the perfect contradiction. Can you talk a little bit of Can you explain it in your own words for us?
I really don't know what that means. I don't know.
I'll throw you a bone.
I mean a lot of things. There are I see a lot of contradictions in myself and the world, I guess, in general.
Okay, can you talk a little bit then about how you're the perfect unpro pro? So you are a professional racer, clearly incredibly talented to take the win today in such a high-class women's field, but you're also a full-time professional 9-to-5er. Is that correct?
9 to 5, yes. I have a lot of flexibility. I work for Specialized Bikes, and I think they understand that I really like to race bikes as well, and I'm one of their sponsored athletes. So I definitely do long training rides during the day, and I work kind of weird hours. I have an interesting schedule. I would not call it a typical 9 to 5. But yeah, I feel really grateful to have the support of my manager, my team, and everyone that I work with. So it's great.
Well, I definitely wasn't trying to get you in trouble with your manager, but really exciting to see you putting a new twist on work-life balance. So, Mo, super duper congratulations. I cannot wait to see what you're able to do at the next stop in Emporia, and I hope you can just really soak up this win.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
First group of 4 or 5, she was kind of missing and not sure what happened, so she had to dig back and claw back and bring back to be able to get herself back into that front group. So a lot of credit to the ride that Evelyn Dong did. Excuse me. So Moriah Wilson, the winner of the Lifetime Grand Prix presented by Mazda. It's race number 1 here for part of the Grand Prix Series. Great ride by Sofia Gomez-Villafaña in second, Alexa Scarda just a little bit further back, Leah Davidson in fourth, and then Evelyn Dong in fifth. Waiting for the rest of the riders that about 2 or 3 more minutes later is another group that's going to be coming in, I believe with Haley Smith and Hannah Otto. But